And so it is live now. So when you go to, and just so you know, like some people may comment or ask questions. So I usually try
That's
to give
fine.
a little time for people to come in. But if you go to Facebook, it should look
Mm-hmm.
like the RETV Talk, and then it'll say Streaming Positive Black Entertainment,
Okay. RETV Talk. Got you.
and then a colon.
Real Talk TV, right? RE. No, that's different.
No, just put RETV and then talk,
Okay.
and then put a colon, and then type in Streaming Positive Black Entertainment. And when you get there, this is what you should see.
Okay. That's
Okay.
not on YouTube. That's on Facebook.
This is on Facebook because I want your Facebook people to be able to take a look.
Okay.
And right now we have one person that has joined us. Hello to whomever you are. And then you can share it live. That way your viewers, your friends can see that.
Okay. That's if I ever find it. How about that? Okay. So you searching RE right TV
Talk.
right, and I am the worst at this. This is what I'm talking about. You see,
It's okay.
you got me doing stuff I ain't never done. RETV.
It's okay.
Kijana, you should come back and help me.
And it's okay, even if you share it afterwards. But this,
Okay.
this is what it is. But we'll get, because I don't want your people to miss it.
Right. I see what you're saying now. RETV. Got it's the talk is not right up next to it. That's what I'm probably
No.
doing.
Okay. Yes. And then it'll be
Okay.
December. Then if you put the
RETV
colon and then,
talk and then the colon.
yep, Streaming Positive Black Entertainment is what you would put. So as we give people an opportunity, I want to tell everyone.
Meaning how to black entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Join group.
Yep. You want
Got
to
you.
join. And
So
then
now
when
I
you
got
scroll down and you see,
oh I did now.
it'll, yeah, it'll see Tyron D.
Here we
Robertson.
are.
Yeah, you see it? Did you share it?
Well, I'm about to share it now.
Okay, good. Okay, but just make sure that your volume is down
Thank
on
you
there.
for your
Otherwise,
patience.
you'll get face feedback. No worries, no worries, no worries. I want to tell everyone thank you for joining us on this beautiful Thursday, February 16th. I don't take it lightly that we are here again, and I have the wonderful, wonderful pleasure of interviewing. Hi, Narada, Miss Tendai, who I met in the store in December. Were we by the bread or were we by the produce? We were by something, and I don't even know how the
We were in
conversation
the
just
we were in the we was in first we was in the no we was in the bread we was in between the bread and the chips.
in between. Let me tell you something. What goes a long way, and some people don't realize that, just being friendly. You never know what could come out of a smiling face, a anything, just being friendly. And it was that conversation, not even having met you within, my goodness, within less than 5 minutes, I would say. I said, "Oh, I need to interview this lady." And
Well,
you were
I
looking.
didn't know that just handling my business and going grocery shopping was going to do all of that. That's first and foremost.
Uh huh.
Um, Second of all, I am in a development process where I'm learning to say yes to more opportunities. So I just
Hmm.
realized that we had a great conversation, and clearly, in that short period of time, you thought there was something that I'd be able to share with the Women's Champ audience.
Hmm.
And so I said yes. Let's have the conversation.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And we have some gentlemen that are watching that could totally benefit from this, because it was part of that conversation when you told me that you helped your children's father change his diet, and some things had, changed for him health wise. And we are just in a time where I think more people are becoming more conscious of what they are putting in their bodies, what we are putting in our bodies, and the importance of that. And I have to tell you this, Tendai. You are the third lady, third woman, third week straight that have told me that you wanted to come out of your comfort zone and to say,
Well, you know what? You know what this is really about? This is about growth and evolution, right?
mm,
So once upon a time in a land far, far away, um, my stepdad, he was a director, an artistic director, and he had his own theater company. And growing
mm,
up as a child, I was very much into performance. Vocal performance was my natural God-given gift. And then I
mhm,
learned how to play piano. And I eventually would grow up and go to the high school, Fiorello H. LaGuardia, the High School of Music and Performing Arts. So being in front was not really an issue. It's just
mhm,
that when you step back and you're not in front anymore, you kind of treasure that privacy.
mm.
So the opportunity, not that you shy away from the opportunity to be in the front, you just, you mature, you don't seek it out as much.
Mhm. Mhm. No, but I understand that as a young person, it's interesting because I want everybody to know I I just met Tendai, like I said in December. A conversation was struck inside of Aldi. I wasn't in there trying to meet anybody. I was just trying to get my ingredients and get back to the house.
Hmm.
But I ended up speaking to you, and my family's past. You don't know this about me. This is our first conversation, everybody. So this is an open conversation that we're just allowing you all to be a part of. But being in the forefront, and when you get older, you tend to shy away. Some people shy away from it. And I'll be honest, I did. If it was up to me, I would not be interviewing women. But
But
I
you know
realized,
what? There is something special in that, right? Because
mhm,
we are exposed to a lot of media. We are exposed to a lot of channels of information. But
mhm,
oftentimes we do not control those channels. We do not control the programming. We don't get to make serious informed decisions about the programming that's being presented, right?
mhm,
And so we are an audience. We know that consumerism standpoint, we are a $1 trillion industry. We are the industry, frankly,
mhm,
right? In every area. So you're talking music, art, entertainment, um, our intellectual capital from an academic standpoint is literally changing the world each and every day. But we do not often have these opportunities to have organic conversations in a way that is beyond, say, standing in the grocery store or your living room or being on public transportation and something says in your spirit you're supposed to be having this conversation with this person, right?
mhm,
Um, and since this is a timely conversation because we've just come out of the pandemic, right? Everybody on lockdown, people feeling very stressed, a lot of uncertainty. All of those things have an effect on the body, your temper,
mhm,
um, your mental is connected, right, to your physical.
mhm,
And so the ability to feed, nurture, and be extremely intentional around what we're doing for
mhm,
our mental, for our emotional, for our psychological, for our physical is so very vital.
mhm, mhm,
The elders say your health is your wealth.
mm.
That cannot be understated.
Yes.
Um, when we're young, we take it for granted, right? We take it for granted. We just shove anything in our mouths. We do what feels good. It doesn't matter.
Mm,
Um, but as we get older, we start to see certain ailments are presenting themselves. And
mhm,
instead of receiving the message from our body as, you know what, maybe you need to make a change,
mhm,
um, we just go, oh, well, give me a pharmaceutical um, response or to alleviate it.
mhm.
As I like to tell people, that pharmaceutical is temporary. It's
Yes.
not a permanent fix.
Yes.
And the pharmaceutical industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, global industry, um,
Mhm.
is interested in maintaining you, not healing you.
Mm, mm, mhm,
That's the
mm,
reality. And
mm,
I've spoken to people, they'll say, oh, well, I have diabetes. And I go, okay, but what are you doing about that?
Yes.
right? I go, until they put you on dialysis, there's something you can do about that. At the
Mm-hmm.
point that your kidney function is so limited that you have to be on dialysis, then it's kind of a wrap. But before then, there's plenty of things that you can do, and it has to
Mm-hmm.
do with your food being your medicine to alleviate some of that. A lot of times, I know a year ago I was experiencing inflammation in
Okay.
my feet, in my ankles, from sitting at the desk for a long period of time, and I would have to literally lay up and elevate my feet. And I'm
Okay.
going, this is not normal. This can't be right. Like something is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just made the commitment to start doing a few things and making it a habit.
Mm.
Say, well, I want to make change, but it's scary, it's expensive. I go, well, being sick is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to spend your money? You want to spend your money in the grocery store in the produce section or the health food store with some herbs, or you want to be running back and forth to the emergency room, or you want to be worried about how you're going to pay for these pharmaceutical drugs that you can't afford that they
Mm-hmm.
purposefully more expensive than it needs to be.
Yes. That part. That is so true.
Right? And people say, well, I don't want to give up what I love. I go, even if it's killing you?
Mm.
Or how
Mm-hmm.
about this? You don't have to give it up completely per se, but you
Yes.
need to do it in moderation.
Right.
And so what I realized is that as a people, we often follow the practices that we were raised with.
Yes.
No one ever talked about portion control.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever talked about what a portion actually looks like, right? We just was like, oh, this is good. I want some more. Oh, this is
Yes.
good. I want some more. I'm gonna eat till I'm full.
Yes.
But
Uh-huh.
actually, that's why you go into the food coma and you pass
Mm.
out, right? You can't.
Mm.
Your body can't take it.
Isn't that something?
It's the truth.
It
But
is.
you actually eat, enjoy your food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taste everything that's on your plate, have an experience, and you're not walking away where you're stuffed,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Um, and I'll give you just an example. Like I said, a year ago, I was having some of these personal issues, and I said, the physician wanted to tell me that an invasive operation was the only thing that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was like, yeah, no, sorry, I'm gonna go out with what I came in with. What my mama birthed me with, I'm leaving here with.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Right. I was just like, something that was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. Like not even a
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started doing a lot of research. And what I realized was A, um, our foods are not grown or produced, manufactured the same way they were when we were children.
Mm.
So the whole food ecosystem has been adulterated.
Mm-hmm.
It's been altered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what you think sometimes you're getting, you're not even getting. Or
Mm.
you're getting things that you have no idea is included. And I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So a lot of people go to the grocery store and they buy like the PAM, the spray oil for their
Mm-hmm.
food.
Yes.
Would you still buy that product if I told you it had um, flame retardant in it?
I wouldn't.
You could Google it. If I told you it had propane in it, would you still buy it?
But it tastes so good, Tendai. It helps our
Actually, Pam
food.
don't taste good. Actually, Pam don't
I said,
taste good.
but I'm saying that's what some
It's
people
a
say. It
convenient
helps their
product.
food.
It's a
Yeah, it helps
convenient
their food.
product, but it's containing carcinogens
Mm-hmm.
that are not healthy for your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When
Now,
you but listen to what you said earlier about the marketing and what's shown. When we were watching commercials, I mean, like you said, the convenience of it. Some people say, "Well, it helps my food." I personally do not purchase it. However, you're looking at these commercials and it's like they're telling us what to buy, have been for years, and a
okay,
lot of it.
you know what? But what I'm going to say is you have to be an informed consumer,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, when I was in undergrad, I studied communications,
Okay.
the process of how you communicate with people, either one to one or in mass communications. At the
Mm-hmm.
time, I worked in advertising, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
were rolling out campaigns all the time, major Fortune 500 companies, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, right?
Okay.
Stuff that if I said it out loud, you'd be like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I went to do my master's, I did it in marketing management. For some
Mm-hmm.
reason, I just knew I was going to make the transition and be working for a Fortune 500 consumer product company to help them, market their products to their consumer base or grow
Okay.
their consumer base, grow their market share.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of those things happened. But what I realized by going through that kind of training is
Mm-hmm.
that advertising is all about repeated exposure to the message. You're
Mm-hmm.
purposefully, people are purposefully not exposed to the message that you are what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
People are purposefully not exposed to the message that your food can taste amazing
Mm-hmm.
with the use of herbs, spices,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your
Mm-hmm.
food doesn't have to be complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a mix of processes. And in doing a mix of processes, you're going to get a lot of different types of nutrients into the body.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a lot of different tastes, because people like savory things, people like salty
Yeah.
things, people like
Mm-hmm.
sweet things.
Yeah.
But if I told you when you get a sweet tooth, you could easily go make a banana and date shake, and it's as sweet as any cookie, it's
Mm-hmm.
as sweet as any piece of cake. As a matter of fact, it's so sweet you don't need as much of it.
Okay.
So if I go get me 3 or 4 dates
Mm-hmm.
and I sit there and I snack on it, I go, oh my God, that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I also just alleviated my sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
It was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ingest anything that was going to hurt me. As a matter of fact, they have fiber,
Yeah.
right? And that was one of the things we talked about as well. We talked about how we're constantly being prompted through radio, through media, through TV to be eating
Mm-hmm.
all the time. You could be outside and you're going past a fast casual restaurant or a fast food restaurant and you smell it in the air and it makes you go, oh, I want that, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But there is no nutritional value in the food.
Yeah.
So you're exchanging your money, your hard earned currency, for this product that has no nutritional value for you. Don't get
Mm.
me wrong, it tastes good.
Yeah.
But what you'll find is that after you abstain from those types of foods, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the
Mm-hmm.
KFC, the Domino's, the Pizza Hut, after you abstain for a period of time and then you go backwards and you try to taste that food,
Mm-hmm.
you go, this tastes horrible. Or you go, this is super salty. Like that's all you taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they've taken some meals, some ground this, some pieces of this, and they're trying to formulate it so that it tastes pleasant to you.
Wow.
What do people recognize? They recognize salt,
Yes.
right? But what I'm advocating is that you can have your regular, you can roast your vegetables, you can saute your vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
you can eat your vegetables raw, you can juice your vegetables and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can, there are a myriad of things that you can do so that you have the, how do you say, the variety
Yeah.
that people need and
Mm-hmm.
require, but you're
Mm-hmm.
also getting the nutrients that you require,
Yes. Wow. When
right?
did you start this journey though, Tendai? If I can ask you, like what
You know what?
how long have you been on this particular journey?
My anniversary for returning to good, abundant health
Mm-hmm.
was January 21st. I bought a juicer right at the tail end of the pandemic, and I just made the commitment that I was going to take a juice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to juice a 32-ounce juice
Okay.
comprised of different, fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Um, I was going to either do a juice in the morning or a juice for lunch and do a smoothie in the morning.
Okay.
And then I would eat a sensible meal in the evening and I wouldn't eat past like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found was is that in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's hard.
Okay.
Right? Everything that you can think of that you should not be eating is what you are thinking about
Okay.
constantly, right? But as the time goes on, what you find is A, you're not starving yourself to death.
Yeah.
You're not like, you're not like hungry.
Okay.
Um, in the event that in the beginning, if I found that I needed to have a snack because I felt, a little famished, I would make it intentionally and get a fruit. So I would have those clementines. I would
Okay.
have green apples. Go get some green apples and have it with, some peanut butter spread on it. Um, or I would get some dried fruit from the health food store, some papayas or some
Mm-hmm.
pineapples, right? And I would snack on those.
Okay.
Make your own trail mix where you put some cashews, some walnuts, some raisins, some craisins, and you put those things together and you have again, portion control, right?
Mm-hmm.
A small or a handful. Just take a handful and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Increase your water intake, right?
Mm.
Your
Mm-hmm.
water intake is incredibly important.
Yes.
Um, and like I said, what I found was I went from feeling lethargic,
Mm-hmm.
be all the time,
Okay.
inflammation, you know, um, not being regular,
Okay.
um, to all of a sudden I wasn't experiencing inflammation in my feet and in my ankles. I had energy. I was feeling just really feeling energetic,
Okay.
right? And again, it starts with one thing, making the commitment to one thing. And then once you get that down, you go, okay, you know what, that was good. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to
Yes.
add this to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, the magical thing about this was um, my mother went and bought a juicer. Well, you asked me when did I start doing this. So came to doing this a year ago. But I
Okay.
grew up as a kid. My mother was a vegetarian. When vegetarianism was not fancy, it was not all over the place. People looked at you like you were crazy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom having an Acme juicer. That's real old school for if anybody's out there who remembers that kind of juicer.
Mm-mm.
Or I remember my stepfather buying a wheatgrass machine that you hooked up to the side of the table, and you put that wheatgrass in there, cut it, put it in there, and you're manually churning that thing to get the
Wow.
little pieces to come out of it,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we say, "Oh, it's expensive to eat healthy."
Mm.
Truth is, I want to share this with people because this is a real testimony. The
Okay.
truth is that it's cheaper. I go to the store once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I buy fruits, I buy vegetables, beets, cabbage, um, leeks, uh, jalapenos, pineapples, cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things that you're buying, and you're making a cocktail out of it, making sure you have ginger, so lemons, ginger, and I'm making a cocktail out of it, literally.
Mm-hmm. You have a question. Let me just
Oh,
pause
I
really
have a
quickly.
question.
Yes, you have a
Thank you for my
question.
question. What's my question? I hope I
Okay,
have an answer.
I'm going to put it up for you. So, those that are watching, again, thank you for joining. This is some wonderful information. I'm telling you, this lady I met in December in the grocery store in Brooklyn, and I just knew she had to come on, not knowing much about you. I didn't know anything about you, but I felt that the information that she gave me just in that short amount of time, I felt like others could definitely benefit from it. So here's your question. I'm going to put it up so you can see it. It's difficult because all the bad things taste so good. What's the best way to change our mental mindset to change the way we eat? And that is a very good question.
Narada, thank you so much for your question. And what I'm going to say is with any change, it comes down to what's your why.
Mm,
Why is this important to you? Why do
mhm,
you want to make this change? What
mhm,
do you envision happening as a result of the changes that you're going to make? And that
mhm,
concept stands whether you're looking to make personal change, health change, relationship change, career change. It's the same thing. What's your why? My why is I watched several of my loved ones who were good lifelong friends pass away of bad health.
mm,
They had kidney disease.
mhm,
My friend was on dialysis. He had a heart attack and he passed away. It broke my heart. He was 50 years old, young. Another friend of mine, the same thing. Just health declined almost like overnight.
mhm,
But the thing is that it really wasn't overnight. They had
mhm,
received information from their physicians that said, this is an issue that you're having. And
mhm,
they were not disciplined. They were not committed. They did
mhm.
not, I'm going to put it like this. February 14th was just a day ago. They did not love themselves enough to put themselves first
Wow.
and make the change. You have loved ones, Narada, that love you, want you to be here. They don't want you to be here on a cane. They don't want you to be here on high blood pressure medicine. They don't want you to be here complaining about arthritis and diabetes and all of these things that we as people of color disproportionately suffer from.
Yes. Mhm,
And if I tell you, and I'm telling you, actually, not if I tell you, I'm telling you, you have a way to address these issues. It's not
mhm.
selected overnight. It's not going to be like a pill that you take and now all of a sudden you feel better.
Right.
The commitment, it does take some time, but you will see results.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
that's my promise. I mean, that's really my promise to you. You will see results.
mhm,
And
mhm,
educate yourself. Don't, you don't do it because I say so. I'm telling you, there are lots of people out here who are medical professionals. There are lots of
mhm,
people out here who are health and wellness advocates. On their IGs, they talk about ways that you can be healthy, things that you can do,
mhm,
herbs, fruits, vegetables.
mhm.
All those other things taste bad, but I mean good, but you have to have it in moderation. I'm an
Right.
advocate for moderation. I do not
Yes.
expect you to change the way you eat overnight. I just don't.
Yeah.
But I do ask that you make some different choices that would
Mhm.
support your health journey. And
Mm.
in doing that, you're going to begin to feel better. And then sometimes you just go, you know what, I'm good. I don't need it.
And that's something.
So most people, they live to eat.
Yes.
I'm saying that you should eat to live.
Yeah, and Laquandra mentioned that earlier. I actually put that up, and that's really what it is. I'm gonna put her comment back up. That's
That's
what she
right.
said. But
Thank you,
when you
Laquandra.
yeah, when you mention about loving yourself, oftentimes we care more about how we dress up on the outside, how we care about how we present to others here. And don't and it just made me think, but not loving yourself enough to put on what's on the inside, because we know that, like, even on a spiritual level, an emotional level, you have to be healthy.
Well, can I say this? I want to say that, and I hope everyone takes this in the right spirit. Um,
Hmm.
People of color are under siege. We've always been under siege, and we are
Hmm.
under siege in every area of our lives, educationally, housing, um, economically,
Hmm.
healthcare. We disproportionately get the worst of these services.
Hmm.
Um, we do not get the best. Um, and then what we think is the high life, if you will, is actually not the high life, it's killing us, right?
Hmm.
We're under disproportionate forms of stress, trying to be all things to all people.
Hmm.
And it just has become apparent that we have to begin to be a little selfish and
Mm.
put yourself first. It's what they say on the airplane, right? If the
Mm-hmm.
airplane is going down, you don't
Yeah,
put your mask on someone else. You have to put your mask on you first,
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
right? In order to save you so that you can now be a blessing to save someone else.
Who you telling? Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm saying to people that, you know, if you know you have diabetes, if you know that you're having, what is the term? Um, for our brothers, they are having heart issues, heart disease issues, they're having hypertension issues. All of this stuff is related to the diet.
Yes.
You can ask your physician to go and visit with a nutritionist at the
Mm-hmm.
very least, because your insurance will pay for a nutritionist. And
Mm-hmm.
you can start to get some ideas. And then
Yes.
from there, when you're reading other books, and there are lots of books out here, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Joel Furman, he has a book called Eat to Live. I don't know
Okay.
if you can
Okay.
see that.
Push it a little closer.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Right? Dr. Joel Furman has a book called Eat to Live. He also has an
Mhm.
IG that is excellent.
Okay.
Um, his IG, he discusses in small increments things that you need to be aware of,
Okay.
and be thinking about, um, in terms of living a more holistic lifestyle. And that's how I look at it. I look at it like it's a holistic lifestyle. So I have returned to some of the things that my mom raised us and brought
Yeah.
us up in
Mhm.
that time frame doing.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
returned to some of it. My mother was a salad fanatic. Oh my God. I love you, Mom. Don't be mad at me because I said that out loud. But she was a
Yeah.
salad fanatic. To this day, she loves salads.
Mm.
Most people be like, oh, I only like romaine lettuce. Well, that's not real lettuce. You need dark leafy greens.
Yes.
If you want to increase the types of vitamins A and K and all of these things, the science behind it.
Yes.
And to some of the viewers who say, the bad stuff tastes good, let me tell you something. The good stuff tastes good too.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now, I make a beet, pineapple, green apple, lemon, and ginger juice that is out of this world.
Really. Hold on, but let me pause you there. So everyone, I just want to again, I like to be at the halfway mark and tell everyone thank you because I see that we have more people coming in. This is some wonderful information because it does not pay for us to like I don't want to live a long life and by 50 I'm on a cane. There are people my age in their 40s on canes and if we can avoid which not if we can avoid a lot of this. And this is why, like, one thing that one of my cousins said to me, she said, when I was apprehensive about doing this show, she said, Toya, you don't have to be the expert. Get the experts on the show. And I care so much about our people. Again, some of you that are coming in, and I'm going to repeat this again, it goes a long way when you just offer a smile, a friendly face. And sometimes we can be caught up in our own worlds. Trust me, I was like trying to be in and out, but we just started talking over by the bread and just talking about health. And when you gave the testimony on how you helped your children's father, I said, wow, I would love for her to share this information. So, you all, if this is helping, share this with someone that you know. It's not too late. Like you said, a lot of this is definitely about preventing. That's not what and we know where we live. Come on. It's not about preventative care. It's all about when everybody gets sick because everybody's making money. Everyone is working with one another. So, I said all of that to say this. Please follow Tendai at Health for Life 2023. Look, you all, she just created this Instagram right before we went on air, so it's really her. You won't see her face. I think I was
But
your
you know
first.
what? Starting tomorrow, I will start posting some things that may be a
Good.
blessing and be helpful, right? That's why I
Good.
did it. I'm going to tell you, like I said, juicing. And these two books I know are available on Amazon. So one is called Getting the Best Out of Your Juicer by William H. Lee,
Okay.
right? And this is a little book. You see how thin that is? That's really little. But it has a bunch of different recipes to help you get started.
Okay.
And it also goes through telling you what the different fruits and vegetables are good for,
Okay.
right? So you literally can know that you're suffering from a particular ailment and kind of put together a juice that would work for you and taste amazing and be able to get that in, right? And the other book that I have here is called The Complete Book of Juicing. And this is by Michael T. Murray.
Mm,
You can also get this off of Amazon. I know that for sure, right?
okay.
And just so for those who may want to buy a book and maybe not at Amazon prices, another vendor is thriftbooks.com. Because
Okay.
I go get my used books. Yes, I do, y'all. I can't lie. I do.
It's the same information.
Books. I get my used. I'm not paying full price for nothing.
Yeah, it's the same information.
I'm gonna be like our Jewish brethren. I'm not paying full price for anything, but I want the information.
But again, it's there, and I know we still have we have a little bit more time, but I thank you for sharing this with us because you've done a lot of the work. Where a lot of us, all we have to do is go buy that book. If you don't know where to start, thank God people have made a book with recipes in it to get us started, because a lot of these ailments that we have, it can most certainly be reversed by what we put in our mouths. And we can't, I think sometimes we focus on one area, and we don't do the entire being. Some people work out, and that's phenomenal, but they're not eating right.
Well, guess what? How about this? And I hope you don't get too upset with me. Um, for the gentlemen, sometimes they are working with what they call their babies, which is
Mm-hmm.
their bellies.
Mm-hmm.
Their who said that? Who said I need to pay somebody for my juice? It's to clean up for me. You
Okay.
wasting money. You wasting money. I'm here to tell you. There's a Mr. Carrot down the block from me. I don't pay them to do nothing.
However, it shows up on like Facebook. Unfortunately, I can't tell unless they join. Like
It's
they would have to
okay.
join
It's all
our
right.
TV. So I don't know who to call out, but it's
Listen,
somebody
listen,
in here.
listen. When people buy them hog maws and them pig feet, you soaking that stuff, you cleaning that stuff, you cleaning up after that stuff. You
Hmm.
got to be kidding me. You can't clean out a juicer.
Well,
People got money. Hold on. People got money for games. Gaming is a thing. We spend thousands of dollars on gaming.
yeah.
I'm not advocating for people to I'm advocating for people to buy the equipment that they can afford,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there are masticating juicers, there are cold press juicers. You
Hmm.
want a cold press juicer if at all possible, because you're going to get more yield out of your fruits and vegetables, right?
Okay.
A masticating juicer is going to press the juice out, but the pulp may still be wet, which we
Mm,
don't want, which means you're not getting the 100% of the fruits and vegetables out of it, right?
okay.
There are juicers at every price point on the market.
Okay.
Start where you are. The juicer I have now, this is the latest iteration. I've had a Jacqueline Lane Jr. juiceman. I don't even think you can find those no more. But
Tell
I'm
me which
just saying,
one is the best one to get. Which one would you recommend? Which one is your recommendation?
you know what? I'm gonna say I'm not telling people to buy the one I bought. I
Right.
bought the Nama juicer because it has the hopper that you just put everything in.
Okay.
You turn it on and it juices it. The pulp comes out into
Okay.
the refuse bag, and then you can either discard it, or you can do some other things. Like level two of this thing is we have now. You know what? Your NutriBullet is righteous too. Okay, Miss G, you ready? Hold on. She made me. She said NutriBullet, so I had to get distracted for a second.
Okay.
Listen here. You get freeze your bananas.
Hmm.
Freeze your bananas with the skin on it. When you buy the bananas, you just kind of rinse them off, dry them, throw them up in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be frozen. They're going to be hard. But what they're not going to do is get super brown. The outside skin may, but the inside of the banana is going to be regular.
Okay.
You cut the ends off, you cut it up, you put it in your NutriBullet. You put some oats, you can put some dried coconut, you can
Mm-hmm.
put some green apple, you can put a handful of spinach, a handful of kale. I put 3 dates in mine because I like a little sweetness. And I
Okay.
pour water, and I pour some water. Zhut, zhut. I got a whole green smoothie. My joint is righteous. It tastes amazing. And now I'm not hungry for several hours. I'm good to go. Miss G, pull that NutriBullet out, girl. Roll
Oh
with
my
it.
goodness. I think you have another question from Narada. Will you come out with a book with your own healthy juices or food? You said you make a good juice. Do you have other recipes that people can benefit from? And I think that she's going to start putting a lot of that on her new
Yes, I
Instagram
know.
page at Health
I'm
for
going to
Life.
begin I'm going to begin to share recipes that I have found, but also recipes that those been you know what? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the burros. You're talking about the burros.
That's
Listen,
Curtis.
listen,
I see who it is.
people have to start where they are.
Okay.
I have to go far away to find the burros, the original bananas, which are the teeny bananas that's about that size. You are
Okay.
absolutely right. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but let people start where they are. Don't
Okay.
discourage them.
Yes. Thank you for
You are
saying that.
absolutely
That's
right. The
important.
original bananas that are not GMO bananas are the burro bananas, which is those little baby bananas that you see, but you don't see
Mhm.
those everywhere.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Brenda, for joining. I appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Let people start where they are.
Yes.
Then as they start moving through this process, then they'll become more discerning,
Okay.
right? Because what happens is when you start to look for the information,
Mm-hmm.
the universe starts to provide it for you. But
Mm-hmm.
then you start looking for this and you start reading this and you're reading this book and then you realize this person is also everybody don't have an international store. We are blessed to be in New York City where we have access to many more global markets, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody don't know where that is. I'm gonna tell you where I get my burros is all the way on 65th Street on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
Where people like us, well, I'm not gonna say people like us don't live there, but it's not our neighborhood exclusively,
Yes.
right? Um, and produce tends to be more expensive where we are than when you go to say, and it will get easier. Thank you, LaQuandra. Um, Produce, you have to make it your business to go to some of these 24-hour produce markets
Mm.
where they're getting their produce at a better price point,
Okay.
and then you're going to be able to benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
But for most people who are just going to their neighborhood grocery store, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yes.
Everybody is not giving their whole paycheck to Whole Foods.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm keeping it 100,
No, it's the truth.
right? And I'm not gonna lie. I go into Whole Foods for certain items,
Mm.
specialty items that I know I can't find in other places,
Okay.
right? That I know they won't carry that item.
Yeah.
Um, and you know what? Now that we have this Instagram, hopefully the person that said the international store, you will engage and you will share information as well in the comments so that other people can get that knowledge. If you know of places within the five boroughs, um,
Well, actually, he's in the Carolinas, but still,
oh, he's in the Carolinas. Okay.
yes, we have people from all over that are joining this
That is so
conversation too.
amazing. It makes it a global audience. Oh yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's facts. That's facts. That
Yes,
is absolute
Miss
fact.
Miss G. Yep, yep. Let me know because I'm out by where you are.
Mhm. So it's these kinds of things, right? And so yeah, Whole Foods tabs is high. I'm not playing with them. But every once in a while I do go see, look, they want to know the books again.
Show them the books again.
Tomorrow I'm gonna post these books. I'm gonna take a picture of the book and post it so that you get these books to get the journey started. Okay? The complete book of juicing, and the author's
Mhm.
name is Michael T. Murray.
Wow.
And this other book that I have here is Getting the Best Out of Your Juicer, William H.
Mhm.
Lee. Whoop, there we
Oh
go.
man,
Those will
awesome,
get you
awesome.
started. I have other books that talk about detoxification and the
Mhm.
elimination of things out of the system. Um, and, there are other components to this. But what we're
Mhm.
trying to advocate is that we start to adjust how we're eating, what
Yes.
we're eating, to improve our health. And so, as I was saying, for the gentlemen, they have their babies, their bellies. And
Mhm.
I know for a fact that, my children's father. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Um,
Oh, you
he
pronounce her name
started
Tanya. I know it
Tanya.
probably.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Of
Um,
course.
because that's why I paused. I
I
didn't want to
know
say it
that's
wrong.
that, but
I don't
that's
want to get
why I
nobody's
helped you.
name wrong. With a name like Tendai, I don't want to get anybody's name wrong. That's personal. Um,
Absolutely.
you know, and when you talk about also sex drive, right? Vitality.
Mm,
I know a lot more women and a lot more men are starting to struggle with them not being able to be as amorous as they may want to be with their
mm,
partners or with their husbands or with their wives. You know,
mm,
um, diet plays a huge portion in that, in your energy levels,
mm.
right? For our brothers, girl, don't be laughing. That's real.
No, 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 no. Let me tell you why she's laughing. That's my friend. So
Go
she's
ahead.
laughing because I have to over enunciate her name because of the way it's spelled. People get
Yes.
confused. So that's why I went Tanya. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
thank you. So Tanya, yes,
mhm,
listen, we want to make sure everybody get their love. Sea moss is also a wonderful opportunity to improve your health because it contains, I think, 90 something of the minerals that the body
wow.
needs.
But we need to hear this because some people listen. I'm not advocating people trying to go get a supplemental partner because your partner is not performing. And when and again, some of this again is because of what we are putting in our bodies. And this could help tremendously. Like, I don't feel like we need to, just because we, society tells us we're old, and it's like once you're over a certain number, it's like all of a sudden you shouldn't be able to enjoy life. Like, we've accepted whatever society has said old is and how we should be feeling. Like, ailments should be a natural part of life, and I reject that. I believe we have to get better at rejecting that. Like, no.
You know what? Women are suffering from fibroids in a there you go. Thank you. Now I was going to look it up, but thank you for checking me. And there's another
Thank you,
herb that makes
Loretta.
up the other 8 minerals or the other 9 minerals that are missing. I just don't know what it is right this moment, but there are two. There you go. Thank you. Yep.
See, look,
See,
let me
look,
tell you something. We
I'm on it.
helping, we helping each other. I
I'm
told
on
you
it.
this is, they on it. And
Y'all
I,
are
I
on it. I love
appreciate
it.
yeah, I appreciate
Right.
you all
So
so
now you
much.
know what? That's in the spirit of each one reach one, each one teach, right?
Yes,
We don't have these conversations during the daytime because we're too busy moving from leaving the house, going to work, doing this, going to pick up the kids, going here, going there.
absolutely.
Everybody's tired. But we
Mm-hmm.
have ancestral information. We have knowledge dating back, going back to our mothers, our grandmothers, and we're not remembering or we're not returning to this knowledge, this institutional knowledge. We're not having the conversation that goes, hey, sis, I see you look a little tired. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
there are
Because the
all
thing
kinds.
is, people get offended. We get offended if somebody tells us that we that we look
You know
tired.
what? Let me tell you something. I had when I tore my meniscus some years ago, I had people
Mm-hmm.
going, "Are you gonna have surgery?" I said, "Absolutely not. I said, absolutely not gonna have surgery for something that the
Mm-hmm.
body can heal itself with some time and the right
Mm-hmm.
nutrients.
Yes.
Time and the
And
right
the
nutrients."
nutrients.
And that
Wow.
Laquandra said it right.
Mm-hmm.
It's making choices one day at a time. Start
Mm-hmm.
small, start where
Yes.
you are, one thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm keeping this up there
When
because
and
that's
I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you something also, I don't even eat as much anymore now. Right? Like I
Really.
still eat, but I don't eat as much. And I'll give you an example. I went on a holiday back in January. I was in the Bahamas with some group of professional friends, and it
Okay.
was an all inclusive. So y'all know it was liquor every day, food everywhere. I was like, I'm gonna take 2 meals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be thoughtful about what spirits I'm drinking, how
Mm.
much of it I'm drinking, when
Okay.
I start drinking. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I'm not saying don't have what you enjoy. I'm saying there is a period of time where you have to abstain so that you can get your body right, get
Yeah.
yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you begin to when I started this, I fasted. I was taking no whole foods. I was doing smoothies and juices. That was
Mm-hmm.
all. I did that probably for 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then I began to introduce foods back into my diet. When I did so, I wanted to make sure they were whole foods, whole grains. I was reading the back of the packages. And during this juicing and fasting session, I was going through my cupboards, realizing as good as I thought I was being, there was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of garbage in my cupboards.
Okay.
Now, I'm not telling nobody throw your food out. I'll tell you what I told my friend. I'm going to use this up, but then I
Uh-huh.
ain't going to buy that no more.
Got it.
That's what I did,
Got it. You were
right?
committed to it.
I was committed. I said, I'm not throwing I spent my hard-earned money on that. I'm not throwing it in the garbage, but I
Yes.
will utilize it, and then I will make a different choice for what I purchase moving forward,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you will find is because you're buying more fruit and vegetables and you're juicing and you're smoothieing and you're doing it every day, food is not going bad in your refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What you choose to buy changes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have
Mm-hmm.
no. I used to love Cheez-It. I don't have no Cheez-Its in there.
Mm.
If
Oh,
I buy some chips, I try to make sure that I'm watching the portion that I have
yes.
and I'm having something healthful with it. So I may make my own guacamole. I may make my own hummus.
Okay.
These things, and that's another thing. We are so afraid to do it ourselves. Recipes all over Pinterest, y'all.
I know that's
How to
right.
make your hummus, how to make your guacamole, the things
Yeah.
that you want to snack on, because we love snacks. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to turn away from those snacks over celebrity overnight. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. But when
Right.
you're sitting up there watching your Marvel movie or whatever show, whatever's your shows, or the sports,
Uh-huh.
right? But then when you start getting into this portion control thing, you're gonna go, you know what? Instead of having 10 wings roasted in the oven with herbs, I'm gonna have six.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a green, and I'm gonna double up. Instead of doing a starch, because black folks, we do this across the diaspora. We do a meat, we do a protein, we do a starch, and we do a vegetable, but often the vegetable is so cooked so poorly that it don't have no nutrient value in it.
That's true.
So here's what I did: the substitution, right? I did two vegetables. So I either do a sauteed, a roasted. What are good snacks, Mr. Chisholm? A good snack is some carrot sticks and hummus, celery and hummus. You could, if you have an air fryer, listen, if you have an air fryer, you could dehydrate your own fruits and vegetables and make like chips. You can make kale chips.
Mm. Which are good.
Kale chips are good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what the thing I'm on now, y'all. Because sometimes I'll be hungry in the afternoon, but I don't want to eat a lot. I will
Yeah.
take I will take a Japanese yam, which is purple. Yeah, it's yellow on the inside, purple on the outside, like reddish purple on
Okay.
the outside. Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I will take a different type of potato, chop it up, put a little bit of not olive oil, avocado oil,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of avocado oil, some cayenne, some garlic powder, some onion powder,
Mm-hmm.
some paprika. Zhuzh, put that in there. 12
Mm-hmm.
minutes later, I have delicious fries that I'm eating. I cook them on 350
Mm-hmm.
because you know that when you use these air fryers, but you use them at higher temperatures, it imparts some of the plastic into your food. So you want to use it at the
Mm.
lower temperature. Do
Okay.
not exceed that, people.
Okay.
Right? These tools exist to make our lives more convenient, but let's use them responsibly so that we're not harming ourselves.
Wow. Yes.
When you're
Absolutely.
in the grocery store, and we know the areas of the grocery store that are the devil, if you will, or our problem areas, try to do your research, do your homework, read the back of
Mhm.
the labels. You know what I was using, y'all, and I had to stop? I was using oat. I had to stop because they have emulsifiers in them.
You were using what? It kind of went out. What did you say?
Oat milk. I was
Okay.
using already made oat milk. I had to stop
Okay.
using it in favor of either just water or making my own nut milk because they have
Mm.
emulsifiers in them. Those emulsifiers are not able to be digested by your body.
Oh
So
my
it's backing
goodness.
you up. We're not even getting into the waste that remains in your body if you're not
Mm.
doing a colonics, you know, once or twice a year. We're not even
Mhm.
talking about that. We haven't even gotten into the supplements that you could be taking to promote and help your process along, such as black seed oil and things of
Yes.
that nature, right?
Yes.
Like I said, this is a process. I don't want to overwhelm people.
No,
That's why I'm
let
saying,
me tell you this. Within
I'm
this
saying,
hour, Tendai, you within this hour, I know that you've helped a lot of people. And again, I encourage those of you that are watching, share it with someone that you know, share it with someone that you love. But most importantly, my prayer is that as we have taken in this information, and some of us may say, some of this, oh my goodness, this is, I've heard this before, I've heard some of this before, but we have to be committed to it, as Tendai said earlier, because when we are committed to it, it becomes a habit, just like with anything else. And I think number one, when we talk about time, we need to invest that time within ourselves. Some people give themselves, 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 50 minutes in the morning to have a beat face, and that's your business. But I hope that you put the same effort. We have to put the same effort in what we are preparing, like just preparing our food, just the preparation of it. And we have the time. Again, it's the commitment that we need to make, to ourselves, to love ourselves. And again, Tendai she created an Instagram page specifically, for you all to connect with her, and she's going to be putting some things out there. Again, if you go to at Health for Life 2023 on Instagram, you won't see her picture out there. She literally put this together right before we went live, because I told her I knew that people will want to connect with her. This has been such an amazing show. If you all have not done so already, please subscribe to Relationship Entertainment Television on YouTube. This is a Black owned network. This is why I'm able to have this show and to bring beautiful people on like Tendai, who I met in the I'm telling you all, met in the grocery store. And this is the most she and I have ever had spoken to one another. We've been texting because I want to make sure that she sent me her information. I was like, I hope she don't back out.
no,
Yeah. And
no, we're
I
not punking out. We're not punking out. Like I said, each one reach one, each one teach one, right? We
yeah.
all have gifts, we all have skills, we all have a wealth of information and knowledge that we have been accumulating, right? And I'm not here to tell anybody that what worked for me is going to work for every last person.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were to share the information and then you use what works for you,
Mm-hmm.
that is the important part. Miss
Yes.
G is on it. She said, read the label. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
Let
And,
me tell
and,
you
and like
something.
I
And
said,
that's the truth. That's the
listen, a
truth.
lot of things that you're thinking about, you can get a recipe and make it yourself. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
you have a blender. If you have a small baby food processor in your house, you can make it yourself. And I mean, when you talk about substitutions, right? We always talk about, oh, you got to get enough protein. Fruits and vegetables, there are vegetables that have protein components in it.
Mm-hmm.
Legumes, also known as your beans. You can put beans and specific types of grains that are more wholesome, black rice.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that together with a little bit of egg, some salt, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and you can make bean burgers. It doesn't have to be flesh meat all the time.
Right. Right.
And also, when you're doing these smoothies, when you're doing these juices, when you're taking in this fruit, physically eating it, you are giving your body, your digestive tract, a rest, a much needed rest, so that the cellular regeneration can happen.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you this. Tendai, you'd have to come back on the show again. I don't know when, but you would
Okay.
have to come back on the show again because we have to talk more about this because you touched on quite a bit. You touched on quite a bit. That's all I can say. And
Well, I
again,
thank you for the opportunity to
oh, sure.
share. You know what? People don't believe it until they say, "Well, what are you doing about it?" I go, "Well, I'm doing it."
Yes.
If I showed y'all I'm gonna put up an old picture of me where I was a fat cow because I was. I've
Mm-hmm.
lost so much weight; it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an overly exercised person. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. But I
Mm-hmm.
do have my Fitbit. I try to get my steps in. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and people get your rest. This is the last component that we didn't speak about, and we have a few more moments. You must get rest. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot burn the candle at both ends. Your body needs time to regenerate, to
Yes.
rest.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
Not
does.
laying in the bed with the TV on watching you. I mean, silence or a little bit
Mm,
of music or some ambient music playing so that it promotes relaxation when you can
right.
focus on your breathing.
Yes. And they have guided meditation. You can
Listen,
go
you
if
ain't
you
messing
have
up all over the
Spotify,
internet.
if you have YouTube, there's some on Spotify. And again, you know how you said earlier, let people start where they are. Start with 10 minutes. And I'm
That's
gonna be
right.
honest with you, that's something that my grandfather shared with me years ago. He said, and he taught me to just do it in silence. He said for 20 minutes, let those thoughts pass, but go back to your focal point. As we get ready to wrap up, Tendai, I like to ask my guest this question. Well, more so, I want you to finish this statement and then we will sign off
Okay.
tonight. And again, you can connect with Tendai if you go to Instagram at Health for Life 2023. Please subscribe if you have not already done so to Relationship Entertainment Television as well as Women's Champ. I'm on Facebook. I have to do more with YouTube, and I am also on Instagram. So I'm talking to myself here, but finish this statement, Tendai. There's nothing like.
There is nothing like gratitude. Um, Tendai is a Shona name from the country of Zimbabwe. Um, the language is Mashona, and Tendai means thankfulness. And there is nothing like gratitude. Every day that we open our eyes, we wake up, we have the opportunity to move, we have the opportunity to change, we have the opportunity to make a different choice. If it didn't work out yesterday, that's okay. Tomorrow is another chance to get it right. Everybody doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And we just have to be okay. I think we spend a lot of time beating ourselves up. Show
Mhm.
yourself up, give yourself some grace.
Absolutely. Hmm.
That's it. That's all
That's
I got.
it. That's it. You gave a lot. You gave so much, and I know that those that are watching are appreciative of it. When I tell you, people are watching from all over the U.S.
Thank you,
Right.
Women's Champ community, for having me and let me talk y'all ear off about health and wellness tonight. I hope something I said was a blessing. I hope something sparked you. Like I said, tomorrow, if it's a little more water, that's a start. Let's start somewhere.
Yes. Let's start.
And
Let's speak
celebrate your
that.
wins. Celebrate your wins.
Yes.
You will know. My mother says women always look at it like, oh, I need to lose weight. My mother said, don't look at losing weight. She said, don't watch the scale. She said, how your clothes fitting?
Mm-hmm.
She said,
Mm-hmm.
you fitting with your clothes, or do your clothes fit right?
Mm. Yes. Right. That right there. That old Tanya said, put away Oreos.
Oh, girl, what are those? We don't know what those are. Can I tell you? I don't care if we're in BJ's, if we're in ShopRite, if we're in Costco.
Uh-huh.
Certain aisles I just stay away from. Where the kombucha at? That's what I want to hear about.
Yes. Yes. My son had put me on to that when I was struggling with indigestion. And instead of taking, medicine, I would take a sip of that and it will come right
How
up.
about this? Where are the red grapes with the seeds? Where are the green grapes with the seeds? Where are
Yes.
the cherries? Where are the peaches? Where's your avocado? You got all kinds of stuff with seeds in it.
Yeah.
When summertime comes, get your watermelon with the seeds. It is incredibly hydrating to the body. Come on
Hmm.
now, we got a lot to choose from.
Well, we have a lot to watch because we have our health and wellness advocate Tendai,
Oh
who's
my
going to
goodness.
have her Instagram presence
Yes.
be made known.
Giving me more
And
work to do, but I accept the
guess what?
challenge. I accept
Yep,
the challenge.
yep. Let me tell you something, and this is something my aunt taught me as well. LaCondra just said it. Stay on the outside aisles. The inside aisles is what gets you in trouble. The fresh food is around the perimeter,
That's right.
and you don't see much congestion there. You see most of the congestion on the inside. So let's do that. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. I will be back again next week, Thursday, with another great person to interview. But as this night comes to an end, and we are going to hear more from Tendai again. You all connect with her. I'm going to have her back on. I don't know when, but I'm going to have you back on. So we're just going to say goodnight to everyone, and then you and I will stick
Good
around.
night,
You all
everybody. Thank you so much. Be well.
be safe and be great.